fully aware that I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I am so effing tired of the amount of emotional labor that comes with dating Black men. I am so tired of the lack of commitment, the lack of support, the lack of encouragement, the lack of money. Like, I don't know what to do from this point on, but I can tell you one thing. My interest in dating another Black man is like 1% at this point. They want us to be ride or dies until they get their shit together, and then they don't want to support us in return. They don't want to commit to us. They don't want to marry us, but then they want all the benefits of being a husband without actually proposing to us. I need someone who's intentional in every single aspect.
I remember when the passport bro movement first started, a lot of Black women didn't find it funny. I personally didn't find it funny as well, not because they were going to foreign countries to look for a wife, but because of the way they had to insult Black women in America just to prove a point and justify their living to go to other countries to find wives. And the way they were always saying, oh, they want to go to third world countries with women who are more submissive, and all that. And it was quite obvious that they were looking for women who will compete to get their attention. They were looking for women who will start, feeling like, oh, black women in America are this, Black women in America are that. Meanwhile, that does not necessarily mean that all Black women in America are like that. Then what this lady did is quite similar. What these ladies who make their announcements on internet do is very, very similar to what these passport bros do, because I'm not against you wanting to marry outside your race. There's nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want for yourself, it's fine. But please, the announcement on your way out is not necessary. The fact that you've dated 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 Black guys that are very terrible, there are still so many Black guys that are good. And that's the same thing I've always said, even when the passport bro movement started. The fact that they know only terrible Black women in America does not mean that all Black American women are terrible.
She really sat there and made this video all while she got her Black son sitting in the back seat. These are y'all sons. These are the men that you raised, right? But somehow the puzzle just don't get put together. These same men that you complain about not being financially savvy, can't keep no money, don't know how to treat women, ain't emotionally intelligent, abusive, don't know how to channel their emotions positively. All of that, sassy, zesty, these are your sons. These are the men you helped raise. But somehow you can't put that together. Like, when y'all make these videos, is it in hoping that somebody gonna come together and be like, no, please don't. We sorry. We here to change. Is that what you hoping for? Because I just don't understand what's the point. If you ready to leave, then just go. It's very simple. It's an easy concept. If you want to date other men, go date other men. If you want to date other women, go date other women. Nobody really cares. Majority of y'all who always running off at the mouth talking about you gonna go date other races, you've never even dated outside your race. And the reason why I would have to say that is because if you dated outside your race before, why ain't you with that person? Because if it was so much better than it was, why did you ever come back over? Right? So I would have to be inclined to believe you've never done it. So if you've never done it, how can you speak on something being better that you've never experienced? I see every day on my timeline other races of women complaining about the same thing that y'all are complaining about. So how exactly is the experience that much more better, right? There's going to be slight changes here and there, but for the most part, most of y'all are the bad catch. You are the trash. You are the toxic. And that's the reason why it gravitates towards you. See, people who are better catches don't want you. That's the reason why they don't shoot their shot at you. They don't DM you. They don't approach you. It's something about you that repels people who are better options. But because you can't see yourself and you a legend in your own mind and you think that you're a better catch than you actually are, you have to blame the whole race and not yourself, even though you're the common denominator on this issue. Even though you've never dated all Black men, all Black women, but we do know you pick poorly, right? We can come to that assumption that you pick poorly based off the fact that every one of your experiences have been bad, although there's other women and men who have had good experience, which has to let us confirm you're the problem.
When I saw this lady's response to her video, I was confused because I didn't really see any son in the video. But then I went back and I saw a shoulder, a little bit, that which meant that someone was there. And from the look of things, it was a young child. And that even makes it more disappointing, because why will you talk about something like this in the presence of someone who you know will grow up into that same black man you are complaining about? It's going to affect that child's self-esteem. It's going to affect how that child views life. And funny enough, this is the exact thing that can even make a young boy to turn into this type of man you're complaining about. At least for the sake of her son, she would have made it clear that not all black men are like that, because what does she think her own son will be thinking while watching her say all those things? This is something I also wonder whenever I see passport bros talking bad about black American women, because I'll be like, don't they have sisters? And a lot of them even have several baby mamas. That means there's a high chance they have a female child, and they still come online and talking bad about black American women, knowing fully well that their own daughters are going to grow up into that black American woman they complain about. The most annoying part is that even if you make videos or comments saying there's no way all black American women are like that, they'll still keep repeating their statement saying, oh, have you seen them? They are like that. What do you mean? And you'll be like, can't you just take correction? The fact that the ones you know are like that doesn't mean that all are like that. Have you been to the whole of America or dated all the black women in America? One thing people fail to understand is that people will definitely view you and your community in the same manner. The same way people view black American women is the exact same way people view black American men, because it's kind of a reflection. The same way people view African men is the same way people view African women. It's like that. You that is maybe in that position, you might not realize it, but people watching from afar, people looking from the outside, watching you, they just say, why are these ones disgracing themselves outside? That's basically what they're saying. They have fun watching us bash each other, because what else is there to see in this world? It's very entertaining looking at black people who have been enslaved for centuries, people who are still being oppressed, trying to oppress themselves and insult themselves and backlash themselves and say all manner of rubbish about themselves online. It's entertaining to people who don't like us, and that's the fact. So what I'm trying to say is, there's nothing wrong with dating outside your race, but please don't demean your race on your way out. There's what we call constructive criticism. I do it often. I talk about the problems surrounding black people, black women. Sometimes I'll say, okay, black men, this is something a lot of black men do, but then I don't generalize it. I'll say, okay, not all black men are like this and all that. But because it's very dangerous to generalize, it could cause more harm than good. It's not bad to do constructive criticism. I always advise that black women speak up on the issues, the things that black men do that they don't like, but then the generalization, no. I want to date other races now. No, it's not necessary. Take note that I'm not saying that there's no truth in what she's saying. After all, she's the only person in the best position to actually explain her experiences with black men. The only thing I'm saying is the fact that the black men she has dated are like that doesn't necessarily mean that all black men are like that. So the generalization was not necessary. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.